it? Who did we watch earlier? The point is, first two races, we picked Cheeseland and we picked Dry Desert. Sorry, it's been a long day, and I wasn't sure how I felt about the team without good spots in the room to start the match, selling for Dry Desert and Cheeseland because it didn't really go in their favor. So we're gonna see how track picks are juggled in this match, and it seems that Peru got their pick to start this one. So
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. I believe Gustavo being the host starting up there in first, but Peru already making their way up there. Although, lap one, Music Park, probably one of the most hectic packs, and already a driving error off the super bounce for Diego. That's going to drop him all the way back to 11th and a red to top it
and
off.
I mean,
So
yeah,
he may,
Diego's back in 12th now.
yeah, so maybe opting to bag here. Moving over to Majari, our other perspective for tonight. Yeah, it looks like in this mid pack, 3-5 at the very least. I can only assume Peru. Actually, no. So the me, I believe, is Central America. Eru.
Yeah, I do think Central America Mees have blue hair. I think I noticed that in the race starting. So it looks like Central America's holding on to first and fourth here. And if this is Peru in 2-3, we might have a chance for Majeri to. Oh no, that is Central America in third as
Oh, is
Majeri
that a
gets.
snipe off the glider? That is super unfortunate, but getting a double chain, so make up for that.
Oh, the
Red,
blue's
blue
coming out
out
too.
for blue coming out for Eru. But top two is very broken away. I don't think that'll be that first or second will be lost from that.
And I think that's Peru holding on to first. I'm not sure if Central America was top two, but I think Peru has broken into first. There were two Central America members up there at least, though. So if they can hold on, they've got to hold on to those top spots because I mean, Peru does have some back presence though, so it might actually be a decent race for Central America. It's
Yeah,
hard to see the mini map.
actually a lot of back presence here. So that could very well be a top three or top four now for
Yeah, no
Central
shock
America.
coming through actually. So I mean, we see a lot of Central America up there. So rolling off from their first match, they might have just kept the momentum going. And yeah, that's a top
Top
four.
four.
What a race! Wow.
Top four to
Especially
10,
able
yeah.
to hold on after that blue hit. I mean, given it was pretty early in the race, but I definitely think that's a good showing for them. And I mean, based off of previous results, kind of what we expected.
Very convincing start, and I think Music Park is definitely one of the harder tracks to make that, push to the front with how hectic that lap one pack can be, and
Oh,
also the
definitely.
potential for top four of Peru players to just draft right away and even take the lead even further. So really nice
Mm-hmm.
of Central America to break those top spots early.
Yeah, they
And
created
pulling out
separation that race.
RWS. Yeah, so pulling out their RWS now, but we're actually going to head on over to Mario Circuit.
And see, I do like this pick. I definitely was a little critical of the last match I watched just because I mean I felt like as that match progressed, they didn't really have any, reset tracks like these in their back pocket because they had used Cheeseland and Dry Desert, to start the match. And I think if they can get a good race out of this, then they're in a pretty good position because they've got the rest of those reset tracks in their pockets, especially because Cheeseland and Dry Desert are so strong.
Yeah, for sure. Leaving those tracks for later is a very solid strategy. So starting off lighter here on the bagging with GB Mario Circuit. Majari opting to bag. We see Arrow back here as well, so we'll see how this bagging point of view turns out for Majari. Maybe opting to just straight up drop. Oh no, she'll just chain. And maybe going for Bill instead, but that is a boo, so that is a solid item to potentially dodge with. However, I'm not sure if that could even be a bottom two for Peru.
It looks like Central America at least split up the pack. Top three is currently running, and bottom three is kind of bagging, for better items, possibly able to hold the shock from Peru because there's a lot of Peruvians back here. And I mean, I think that's one Central America player back there in like bottom two. So it's a pretty close pack for this shock. And oh wow, I was about to
Oh,
say I wasn't
shock.
confident that it was there, but I mean, only dodging one player, not the craziest outcome for the lightning bolt. And Majari here is going to be able to pull up. It
Yeah, with
seems
one
that
shroom. Oh, but this is a nice pull from
Diego G
Diego
has got
G.
to get first here. If he does not get first, he is selling. Looks like he might be able to squeeze. Oh, not quite able. The greens come out, able to snipe at least one of them. And I mean, Diego G doing as much as he can there. That is a successful race for him at least. But
Bottom 5.
1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is going to be. I wasn't even aware of how many Peruvians were back in the back, and I mean, I think Diego G was the only one that was able to benefit from that. Because whose lightning bolt was that?
See, I was gonna ask the same thing because it looked like Majari was shocked out of her boo, so that led me to believe maybe a Peru shock, but
they just were not able to get any other bagging items, and that's what makes me believe that a lot of Central America was back there, or Central America, sorry. I think they played that race perfectly because they split the pack between 3 runners and 3 baggers, and they kind of covered all the options there. And just like that, Peru's going to have to go to Dry Desert next. Because, I mean, that's a tough race for them, and it's already I'd say that's at least a 50-point deficit now.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, bottom 5 right off the bat, definitely, something that shakes everything up, and pulling out Desert right away.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're not even going to head there. Unfortunately for Peru, we're going to head over to DK Jungle. So Diego's job straight off the bat is going to be spam whatever you have at first, take first right away.
Oh yeah.
Try and start building up some sort of a run. He'll get a red. Unfortunately, not getting a lag trail and not getting a super bounce either. That's going to put a lot of Central America in front of him.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, Ricky and I had talked about a lot of this in our earlier cast, but the numbers game in Mario Kart is so important. So even if Diego was able to get into first and kind of push his way ahead a little bit, I would have been concerned for his safety because there were at least 5 Central Americans behind him ready to do the same thing, you know? I definitely think this might, I mean, if they don't get up there quick, which it looks like they have, 4, 5, 6, 3, 5, 6 here, this might need a lightning bolt because DK Jungle seems to be pretty difficult to catch up on.
Yeah, absolutely. But we do see Arrow back there, again being the me. So Peru may want to consider just hard dropping, going for shock. But I mean, they do have this may be a 3 through 6 here, and with shrooms too.
Yeah, they've got numbers up here. And I mean, not the greatest items to start playing aggro on Central America right now, but they've got to stay close at least.
Yeah.
And yeah, top 2 here for Central America. Any red shells? Oh! Someone tried to bomb snipe, and that actually took out Diego G's red. That's unfortunate for Peru there.
Yeah, that...
And he's just surrounded right now.
Yeah. He's going to have to play defensive here instead. Try and salvage third at the very least.
True.
We do see
that double box at the end is going to be important
now. But I don't think...
Oh, nice back spam by Kamit. That was calculated, and that's going to do some damage on Diego here.
Top 4 now, even... Yeah, Boomerang not quite hitting. He has a few throws left, but...
Oh, these green shells are calculated. Diego G just has nowhere to move, and I think Central America has a big race coming up here, except the dodges on the glider. That might impact the top 3. We're going to look at the mini-map here. Looks like it'll pass third. A couple people in dodges now. And I think they at least preserve top 2 as Diego limps into the finish line in 8th. But, I mean, that shock may have had some impact. Not as much as Peru was hoping for, though. That's a top 2, 5, 7. And, I mean, the front presence, Central America always has at least 3 people in top 6, and the numbers game is coming to into effect here, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just starting in bottom 5 on that track, it's super difficult. Having to pull shrooms lap 1 really is your only way to get up front early. And unfortunately, we saw some of that from Peru, having 3 through 6 going into lap 2. Or
Right.
just
Whoever
wasn't enough.
whoever was in second for Central America, I cannot recall the name, but they were just like tanking red shells, or not red shells, sorry, green shells back. And I mean, Snipe Diego with the back spam on 2 separate corners lap 3 completely tanked his race. And I mean, that kind of aggressive defensive play is going to be like the right answer to the aggressive offensive play that, Peru needs to make to get back into this, because they are desperate to get in those top spots. And I think the running ability and the reason Central America dominated their last match is kind of becoming evident here, as they are out to, is that a 70 point lead? If 163 to 93 is the score after 3, then it is a big lead for Central America right here.
Yeah, looking dire already after 3 races, and heading to Dolphin Shoals, what's got to be Peru's pick.
I
No
think
switches, I don't
I
believe.
think it was
To
Central America. I saw me with black hair. I'm
Oh,
only
even?
differentiating
Okay.
them by their hair color on the map.
Okay, may not have seen that correctly. This track, depending on who is in your lineup, it can function as more of a runner. But we see Diego already taking that draft, and that's the other thing about this track. Drafts are so powerful. Nice
Yeah.
trail onto Aero right away.
And I mean, yeah, he's creating at least a little separation and making
Wow.
plays left and right in first place without defense. But I mean, yeah, I think that pick for Dolphin Shoals came back to bite Central America, because Diego's trying to make some moves on.
I think that
My
connects.
God!
Yeah, that connects. Wow, what a nice snipe from Diego. Bomb
And
in first
suddenly
now.
Diego
He's
G
getting
is
gritty
Steph
in
Curry
first.
right now, because he is making plays left and right. He's got the right items to do it, and he is staking his claim in first right now. Oh boy. Okay. I like how this turned around. Wow.
Yeah,
He's gonna need
absolutely.
to be
Great
careful
stuff
up there
from.
in first, though. I would
Yeah.
at this point, if I've got at least 1 or 2 teammates in the vicinity of me, I've got to play all defensive. Just hold on to my items, because you got to keep first.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
seems like,
But
yeah, he's got to.
he's not in first anymore,
Yeah,
actually. Arrow taking that now.
he's
And
been
one
passed by
free
Arrow.
for Central America.
Yeah,
Nice
looks like
glider strat from
Majari's gonna
Majari, but this
pull up here too.
Diego's a horn. She'll have to yield.
Yeah, this will be an interesting interaction, because Diego's got a horn in second. We've got Peru in fourth. Gustavo's right behind Majari, so she's going to need to be careful.
Quick red, maybe? No, Diego will react to that. Red in pocket.
Oh, yeah, lost her
red for
defense, though.
Majari.
That's tough. And, I mean, Gustavo's coming up. Let's see if Diego G can get the double red on Eru. He should be able to. He's got to be careful of anyone holding blue, though, so he's going to hold on to this for a second. And, I mean, if he can time this right, and there's no blue shell, he might be able to steal a first here. He's got a bomb as well, can double down on Eru. And, yeah, it looks like Peru was holding on to the blue. Or not Peru, sorry, Central America. And Diego's able to sneak into first. So, I mean, that was very well played by him. He took advantage of that race, and we've been looking for an answer for Peru, and we've got one, at least for the time being. That's a top 2, 4, 5, 6, I think?
4 through 7, actually.
Okay,
Bottom
wow.
5 for Central America. That is the response that they needed. Absolutely. Great stuff from Diego in the front.
Absolutely.
Very
Gustavo
nice
and Diego,
play.
we were talking about them at the start of this match. Diego, I mean, arguably, Peru's runner, and Gustavo with that leadership up there, he was able to pull out a play with Diego right next to him. That was really nice. And we might be able to see a showcase of some of this Peruvian running ability then, because they've got top spots. They're, in the driver's seat after that race. Hopefully they can keep this momentum going, keep this a close match.
Absolutely. And opting for Wild Woods, I like that pick. It's not a pick we see too often, but it works really well. Even as even as a drafter, and I think that's what Peru are going to go for.
Right.
Again, having all of the middle spots all the middle spots, and leaving only third for Central America.
Well, yeah, and their 6-7 can draft possibly, so that could be good for these first couple turns.
Yeah.
And I mean, so Wild Woods, what is this track? I mean, what is the strategy behind this track? Because I will not lie, I rarely see this in World Cup play. And I'm curious to why teams, I'm a fan of it. I'm not talking down on it, but I'm curious as to like what the strategy is going into Wild Woods, because it seems like there's a couple pretty decent shock spots on this track too. So I mean, it could benefit the back.
Oh
and
no,
Diego definitely not not a fan of being in first right now, as he made a little driving mistake. But what do
Yeah,
you
going
think
for that.
Peru's plan was? Was it just to run this track?
Yeah, I think to run and to draft, they had so many middle spots, bound to have at
Hmm.
least a few players draft up, but it looked like Central America did that instead. Uh, this could be a top 3 right away, even. They at least have second with Arrow up there,
Yeah.
and third, so could be a top 3 right away.
Ooh,
Another
and
huge shift in the front.
definitely. And I mean, I don't think Peru expected this track to turn around on their head so quickly, but it seems like someone is pretty far back there. Or no, that was just lag. But if they don't have any front presence, I mean, they might need to sell for shock, because this is a pretty convincing turnaround for Central America right now as a blue comes out. So that's probably a Peruvian blue.
Yeah, blue is helpful, but that's only one player getting hit out. Eru still holding on to that lead, and I don't think even with shortcuts coming out from Peruvian players, that's going to be he's going to be caught up to unless there's some sort of shock. But we see Majari even in last, so that's not even a possibility for
Ooh,
Peru.
yeah. And I mean, just like that, it seems that Central America has turned it around just as Peru gets within 30. We're going to see the results here, but a lot of Peruvians in the back here, and not what they're going to want going into what that was this is the 5th race of the match. I mean, we're about the halfway point, and you don't want to dig
Hmm.
yourself into a hole like that. Top 3? Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, 7, 11, 12 isn't going to make it a dominating race, which is, what Central America was kind of aiming for, I think. At least after lap 1, it looked like they were running away with that one.
Yeah, for sure. And some players up there could have been subjected to Peru's pack play, but yeah, Arrow just broke away, and I didn't quite catch who got blued, but they just broke away, and that's exactly. And I think that comes with that cut going at the end of the lap,
Right.
saves a good amount of time, and even if the pack doesn't get so spread out by that point, the cut really just saves a good amount of time early on in the race.
True. And so we're gonna have a Twisted Mansion coming out from Central America, and I mean, this is kind of the same case. There's a bit of drafting to be had at the start of or the first half of the first lap, so maybe some spots could be switched up. But I mean, Central America with the answer immediately back, and I mean that pulls their lead to about 40 or so. So it's not, you know, it's definitely not a blowout by far, but it definitely has felt like most of these races Central America has been in control.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see how much control they can keep over TM. Definitely, if we're going to see the first shock of the war, it's going to be here. And
Mm-hmm.
see a few people dropping out quite early on. Last place getting hit, so they may opt a hard bag. Majari making their way up all the
Ooh,
way to second with that shroom. Very nice attempt on an air snipe there. Ooh,
ooh,
she's
that
going to
could
throw
be a
this bomb
deadly
up to go
bomb.
down.
Nicely placed. Wow.
Yeah, I think, that connected. That was a nice bomb. Really nice
Definitely
play
taking
there
one for
from
the team
Majari.
there, taking out Diego. Now we've got Diego H up here in top spots. We haven't seen much of him, it appears. And is Diego G using Diego G as his me name, right? Or is it just Diego?
Um,
Because we're watching
I
from a
think
different
it's
perspective now.
Diego
I wasn't
G.
sure.
I'm pretty sure it was Diego G. I would hope at least it was Diego G.
There's got to
Uh,
be some
so
differentiation, but
yeah, but yeah, here we
oh,
are.
absolute chaos up here in the front as Kinopio. Kinopio dropped the bomb and definitely threw off some people's races. And I mean, Diego G up here in 7th looks like he's got a couple teammates surrounding him. A bit of a mixed pack, and I'm really wondering what's happening there in the back, because it seems 12th is staying behind just a little bit in hopes of getting that shock.
Yeah, for a second there, that was looking really good for Diego, but taking that green
Right.
snipe, and he'll be able to shroom up still, but so will everyone else.
Not able to
This
get that double box, and he only
Ooh,
gets a plant
this
here.
plant could be huge. He's got 2 members of CA in
Can
front of
he
him, but they have
catch up?
shrooms.
I think he's able to tag one of them, but not too much damage to be
Yeah,
done.
not
This
gonna be
double box
enough.
is going to be really important. We'll see if a bolt comes out here, not looking like it, and
Another
he's got another
plant.
plant. This is where he wants a plant. If he can get that out and get the red shell out first, but not looking like it. He's
Oh
gonna
no.
salvage 5th here.
That
Ooh,
was
if that
looking really
plant
nice if those Central America players didn't have shrooms, but
Peru.
still in top 2
Yeah,
and the
I
bottom
mean, bottom
3
3
for
for Central
TA.
America there too. So I mean, Peru can't be complaining after that one, especially a shockless race. I mean, definitely able to hold on to top spots there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of how much of an impact that plant would have had if those 2 Central American players didn't have shrooms. That was going to be
Right.
huge.
And good on them to
2
get
plants
out of
in a
the
row
range of
as
that
well.
plant. Yeah. I've never seen the plant have that much of a gameplay uh impact there, but that could have been hype. I mean, he did put in some work with that thing. He did what he could with his items, so
Yeah, for sure.
and interesting to see actually oh no, sorry, that's Central America. That's not Peru. Sorry, my brain is fuzz currently. I was like, why is Peru picking dry desert? But possibly a
Yeah.
chance here for Peru to get a running track in. Not quite though. Not quite. I jinxed it.
Yep.
Dry desert. And we might be able to see a coordinated shot coming in here because it's pretty clear that a lot of this room is going to be bagging. I'm interested to see how Peru approaches this, like who's going to be running and who's not.
Yeah, for sure. So again, top 2-5 for Peru. We may just see just 2 or 3 of them. Okay. Yeah, top. Oh no, first place drops out. So that's 2 runners. Diego will opt to run. I think again we've talked about how Diego has had such a presence in the front. He'll just want to maintain that even on this
Right.
track. But that's still 3 players. I didn't catch the 3rd player running for Peru. That may not be the best.
I mean,
We
I feel
see.
like with 3 Peruvian runners, you'd want to like sell for the shock and just hold on to it. I mean, I know that there's possibility for a second shock, but I mean, in many experiences, seeing people run this track while everyone else is bagging, it usually does not end up in their favor unless their team gets the bolt. So I mean, that'll be interesting to see how Diego holds on to that first up there as we see Majari back here, uh, kind of just cycling through items, trying to get something that could impact this race. A blue coming out early too, so that's going to hit Peru,
I
I think.
think no, that's Central America. They had top
Oh, they're all up
3
here.
at that
Wow.
point. A horn being pulled just at that set could have had uh, could have been used for the blue. Unfortunately, being pulled too late.
Yeah,
Red.
Diego's in an interesting spot here too. He's in 4th going
Yeah,
into
I
lap
would
3 and
drop if I were him. Try and get some sort of
get some
not sure, but
separation between first because he's not going to get anything with how close he is to the front.
yeah, just these mid pack items not going to be useful going into this lap 3, especially with. Although I don't think either team has someone far enough back to even pull
I
shock.
I don't think there's a shock because they're using stars. There would have been a shock if someone had a star at this point and was using it because I mean that would be the perfect place to chain something. So it seems like so far this race is shockless,
Yeah,
and I mean
shockless dry would be something to marvel at. Not something you see very often at all.
oh,
But Majari with triple reds.
this could be an opportunity for Majari.
Oh, that star
Oh,
though.
triple
But
reds on the part of
Arrow with triple reds of his
yeah.
own too. Oh
Oh, and
no,
that nah,
miscommunication.
that is a tough ending there for Majari. I mean, yeah, her and Eru finishing in bottom 2, so it seems oh yeah, that's another Peruvian member. So it seems like a pretty mixed bag. No shock on dry, and it seems yeah, that's exactly what I expected from a shockless dry race. Pretty mixed bag, yeah.
Yeah, very strange. You don't often see a shockless dry, but it happens. On the odd day, odd, more like odd month. But here we
Yeah.
are, and
I
yeah,
mean,
mixed
if I'm
bag.
Peru, I can't be complaining about that one, even though we're still trailing. Like, if I'm a Peruvian player, I'm thinking they didn't absolutely slaughter us that race and turn things around. And I mean, if you're trying to hold on and bring this one back as they've been doing for the first half of the match, then I mean, decent situation to be in.
Yeah, for sure. That a shock from Central America. If Central America had a shock there, that probably would have just propelled them all the way through the rest of the match. That track just has such a huge impact. Like usually on a normal race, there's always just a huge race on leaning one way or the other.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a good point. Peru definitely benefits from that outcome instead.
True. And I mean, as far as we know, it's looking like is that an 18-point deficit? It's a little pixelated. Yeah, 296, 278. So I mean, as much as the storyline has been like, it seems like, Central America's going to come in here and replicate their last match and, dominate. And they've had big races individually. It's very close. And I mean, props to Peru because they're holding on here, but we're going to need to see some consistency in them actually break through because it's like, you know, they definitely haven't had a dominant race that has propelled them into a bunch of momentum. I mean, last race was decent, but it'll be interesting to see how the second half of this match unfolds. And I mean, Sunshine Airport, pretty good running track, I'd say, but the shock here, again, would be a big game changer.
You know, I question whether any team is just banking on the shock at all. They don't seem to be dropping for it, at any point.
That is a good point.
I don't know if we've even seen one yet this war, so it just seems like the teams are just banking on running. And, just from what I saw lap 1, it looked like a lot of Central America shroomed up, but
yeah,
either way, I still see good amount of Peru up here, and I do believe that DK is up there, which I think is Peru as well. So this is looking like, a 2 through 5 or something for Peru.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think you bring up a good point, Mitch, because I mean, it has not been, that big of a blowout of a match. So there's really been no like, desperation mode, especially in the last few races. Like, I mean, I feel like these two teams can just absolutely hash it out, old school Mario Kart. And I mean, it's remaining close. And we see, I mean, we've got Peru in 3, 4, 5 here at least. I'm not sure who's in top 2, but that's, I mean, 2, 3, 4, a couple Peruvians getting taken out there, but I mean, they possibly have numbers on first. I can't recall who's in first, but Majari is holding blue, so that kind of confirms our suspicions.
Yeah, for sure, but Peru definitely has the potential to take out that first place. Red being thrown by Gustavo.
Yeah, I mean, and Majari has the blue in the back pocket, so they don't even realize it's coming out, and there it comes.
Oh, that was lap... Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that was lap 3.
Oh my goodness. I mean, he was holding the blue, or they were holding the blue through the end of that lap 3. I didn't realize it was lap 3 either.
I really didn't. I was like, oh, we're going to lap 2. There's Arrow streaming out top 2 going into lap 3.
Those are those kind of mental mistakes you make in the nightcap, but I mean, it's still a decent race for Central America. It looked like, because I mean, we were under the impression we were in lap 2. It looked like Peru was just, in the position to make a charge into lap 3, but that was still very well played by Central America. They were able to hold them to top 2. Damn.
Yeah, I think, one reason that may have happened is because it didn't seem like any like major plays happened in that race. It just seemed very calm. That's probably one of the more calmer races we've seen.
Yeah, and again, we were shockless.
And yeah, that too.
When do you think, because we're going into race 8 here, correct?
I believe so, 8 or 9, yeah.
And we have a Wario Stadium for Central America, so this might answer my question if they end up getting a good race. But when do you think the like the panic, not the panic, I guess, but the like we gotta get this, get this lead shrunken now comes in for Peru, because they've been trailing by a bit this whole match and they just haven't broken through. When's that, like, maybe we should sell for shock, or maybe we should, try a different strategy, because it doesn't seem like they're breaking through.
I think
Diego
it's gotta be
breaks in the first here.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say he just takes first right away. Top 2 Central America looks like they may have bumped each other, and even top 2 as he's throwing his protection away. This is, oh, maybe not. I'm not certain.
I do think Diego G here is going to be he might be the factor for Peru coming into these last races. If he can play smart, front-running Mario Kart, as he gets double-redded, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If he can just get into those top spots, he does have teammates up there, and if he can situate himself and comfortably run with, teammates surrounding him, then Peru could start chipping at this lead, and before you know it, it could be gone from Central America. But it seems like his dream of front-running is complicated just a little bit here.
Yeah, and I think to answer your question, it would have to, like, the panic for Peru would probably have to set in after RWS, you know, getting it so late into the war and just seeing how front run heavy it is, and Central America are in at least 2-3 now, could
Right.
take out first at any point. I think this is where they have to, you know, reconsider what their game plan is going into these last few races.
Yeah, it appears one of the Diegos is in second right now. Do we know if Central America's in first?
I think they are.
Okay. I mean, this could be a 1-3-4 then. And I mean, unfortunately, the number's not coming out for Peru as Majari is going to try to play defensive here with a lot of Peruvians behind him.
Yeah, and yeah, that was Barker in first, but they got taken out. I think that's the Diego.
Diego not quite able to hold on as he gets past, and a 1-3-4 coming out here for Central America. And I mean, I'd slap that panic button if I'm Peru, because that race turned around pretty quickly. 2-5-6-7.
Yeah, it wasn't awful, but I don't know what happened to Diego on the cut. It looks like they were going into it, and they could have had first with the shroom, but
it might have been, there might have been some bumping in the cut, because I think Diego and Kamet may have collided, because Kamet just flew into first, and Diego was considerably slowed down there. So tough that he could not hold on to that first. We've got 3 races left here and about 25-30 points of deficit to make up here for Peru. And I mean, Central America doing absolute wonders in the damage control department. I think they're controlling the pace of this match, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, debating what we're going to head to next. Hyrule and Sweet Sweet, which that's a really interesting pick because, again, not a track we see too often in wars, but one that really benefits from a shock with, you know, with that really long glider target shock spot. Maybe this is where they're finally reconsidering their strategy. We are actually going to head there too.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be, I mean, Central America's job right now is just to have front presence, and that's exactly what they've been doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I mean, I think they've been able to control the match by just having numbers up there. So it's up to Peru to figure out, are they keeping with the same strategy and banking on just, you know, 3 fortunate races and they're able to, you know, establish front presence, or are they going to change to a strategy that involves the lightning bolt? Because, I mean, this cannon right here would be the glider to do it, hint, hint. But we will see how this unfolds as Peru pulls into top 2. I mean, yeah, Majari not really able to combat that, but...
Yeah, no box first set, but, you know, having that shroom, she can just take front presence again right away with that cut going into the end, but a red coming out from in a very low spot, that's unfortunate for them.
And Diego too.
Yeah. Taking cut, this still looks like Peru mostly in front.
And yeah, if the spots haven't changed, that's Peru in, you know, 3 of the top 5 spots.
Oh, but no, okay, so 3-4.
Oh, bomb onto Allen.
Nice bomb. Yeah, that's a nice bomb.
Eru was able to expose the no protection there too.
Taking a Nana, this is looking really nice.
Ooh,
and another
Diego.
red onto Diego, yeah.
Yeah, Diego biting the unfortunate end of that stick there. And I mean, a lot of Central America presence back here. It seems still to be a mixed bag though. Here in the back, we switched to Majari, and Majari up in 8th with 2 reds, surrounded by her teammates.
Yeah, I think Peru still holds first, but and maybe 3, but
we'll see on the mini-map that interaction between 2nd and 1st, because we know Central America is in 2nd. And any mushrooms in that top 5 position would secure a top spot for sure. That shortcut's going to be big at the end of the lap here. And doesn't seem like there's going to be a shot coming out. A couple people using their dodges in hopes of it at the end, but nothing going. Ooh.
I didn't even notice that. All the way back to get it. Okay.
Okay. I mean, Yes, I mean, still, it's Peru kind of still hanging on, and I mean, Central America doing their job still. And I mean, we've got, a 25, 30 point deficit still, and you're kind of getting to crunch time here. So big plays are needed at the end of this match for either team. I think if Central America can make a big play to hold on to this and kind of secure a win, they can get a big race coming up here, then that's curtains.
That's that's pretty much curtains. And going to gold mine for that, I like that pick. I like that pick for Central America. They have 2-3, can do
Yeah.
very easily get a nice draft and take top 2 right away. And we've seen how those 2 players in front often are Central America. They have
Right.
done really well holding those. I think that's their idea going into that track. I think that'll work really well.
For sure. I mean, 2 pretty excellent running tracks coming up here, unless it picks Royal Raceway, which is not the case. So we got Warriors Gold Mine coming into race 11. Central America leads it by about 30. Yeah, we got the updated score, 34 points. And so, I mean, you're going to need bigger races than you've been getting if you're Peru. If you're Central America, you keep doing you, and 2 more races and you come out of this match with a win. So we're going to see how this one closes up. And I mean, it's kind of no big shockers coming into these last couple of races. And I mean, again, the lightning bolt has not come into play as much as we'd have expected it to, especially with how close this match has remained. We'll see if any adjustments are made here on Wario's Gold Mine. The pack just continues to stay so tight throughout this match.
Yeah, for sure. This has to be the race where Peru, goes for these really big plays in the pack, or even goes for shock. And there's a start. J-Ball taking out one of Central America with triple greens. But yeah, and Majari getting hit as well. This looks like a really good start for Peru. This could even be top 4, but fire coming out.
Gotta be careful.
I
think aggression is going to be the answer here, though. They've got to play aggressive and just kind of do damage to Central America, because you let them run and they're going to get up there, as we've noticed.
And Gustavo taken out. That leaves just top 2 now. Comet getting the double.
Mm-hmm. There's J-Bow.
Yeah, so many pack items here. Triple greens in pocket for Majari. Could pull them out on on Peru. She's
gotta get some distance from her teammates before she pulls it
out.
Triple reds coming out too.
Now.
Good timing.
Yeah, good timing from her.
We have a Peruvian top 2. We see Central America in 3, 4, and then Diego G in 5th. He's gonna need to be careful of these reds from these greens, from Majari. And if he gets a good double box here, or a double box in itself just alone, I mean, this could be big. Not opting to go for it. A boomerang could be big, though.
Yeah,
try to get rid of those greens.
One throw left. Oh, not going to connect. I think this might be it for Peru. And there's one of... Oh,
ooh,
okay.
That's an interesting shock. Triple reds, not the item Diego really wants, surrounded by his teammates. Peruvians are going to try to make one last final come up here, coming into the final finish line here. And okay, interesting. That's a bottom 4 for Central America. It was not looking like Peru's fortune right there, but I mean, they were. Let me look at the results again. I was looking at the bottom 4 there. Sorry.
It was 2 and then 4 through 8.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom 4 really helps Peru, but
yeah,
getting those top spots, and I do want to give them credit though. First shock of the war, I believe, and that was super clutch for them. We saw stars, triple reds come out for Peru as a result. That was definitely what they needed, but this still is very, very close going into this last race for them.
And someone in chat mentions it's a good setup race coming into the final race, and it's interesting the counter strategy by a couple Central America members at least, is to pick Baby Park. And I mean, if that throws off the momentum or throws off the positions at the start, that's interesting. But we have Cloud Top Cruise coming out here for Peru. So I mean, they got a chance to show us what they're made of. If they can hold on to these top spots and come out with a dominant race, an exclamation point for the end of this match, they've got to win it by 22 or more. So this will be interesting. I like the way we're set up right now, and I mean, it's just going to be about being aggressive if you're Central America and just getting rid of anyone from Peru.
And right away, it looks like they just take the top spots right away.
Diego H missing that red shell, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we've got a cramped top 3 here.
They need to get
gotta watch out for that trail.
Yeah, they need to get first out immediately, just as soon as possible, but the trail's gonna...
Oh my goodness!
Okay, a trade.
I mean, trade puts them in the same situation as they've been in.
Yeah, this looks pretty similar to what we saw even before the hits, so... Again,
be careful that backspam.
Get these reds. Hope for reds here.
Oh, a blue shell's coming out from Peru, though.
That's huge.
That is big for Diego G here. And we might be seeing cards in the fortune of Peru. As Diego G might be able to try to get some separation here in first. He's got no teammates behind him, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's just going to have to hold this and hope that his teammates in the mid pack can make some plays.
Right.
Again, we're seeing this pack is not very spread out, so Shock doesn't seem like a possibility. But yeah, all Diego can do is really hope.
I mean, does he play aggressive here? Does he sell to try to get 2-3 out of there? Or does he rely on his teammates to do that? Because I mean, you either get first and bottom spots and lose the match, or you sell, get a good gamble out of it and get a win out of this one, because it is a 22-point deficit, so they need a big race.
Yeah, so that red from Ajari wastes Diego's horn, so he may not have. Yeah, he has nothing. Majari is a red behind him. This could be really bad. Yeah.
And that red's coming through. He's gonna stop before the double, able to hold on by just a hair, and it looks like there's going to be a 2-3-4 behind him. He's not quite able to preserve first. He pulls through at the draft, not able to hold on, and I mean, that's looking like at least a 1-3-4 for Central America, and in dominating race 12 fashion, they close the curtains on this match. Wow, what a performance, honestly, especially when they're with their backs against the wall. At least, I was expecting the worst there, honestly, for Central America. It was looking like Peru had a really good situation going there, and they fended off pretty much everyone else. Everyone that wasn't Diego G, they fended off there, and that was well played going into race 12.
Yeah, Peru had a really nice setup. I really liked that track pick from them. The running potential for their top spots is, really strong on a track like Cloud Top, but even if the running doesn't end up working out the way they want, the shock is very common there. But right away, within the first few seconds, Central America took top 2, and leaving just Diego up there, it was bound for him to take a hit, and he did inevitably on that last set.
Right, and I mean, let me take a look at this group again. Because I mean, I wrongly said China last time. My apologies. Switzerland, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Central America, Peru, Luxembourg, and Scotland in this group. And I mean, that creates some separation there for Central America with a dominating win earlier today and a very close, hard-fought win against Peru. And I mean, credit to Peru for showing up and keeping that one close. I'm curious to see how they carry that into their next matches, because who do they play? They play tomorrow, I'm assuming, as well. What are their upcoming matches looking like? Because it'll be interesting to see what kind of lessons they learned going into their next match. Because I mean, I definitely think they've got a good team and they've got a lot of impactful players. The Diegos and Gustavo as well, as a leader, showed up a bit that match. I'm very curious to see how they pull through in the rest of these these play-in stage matches.
Yeah, so based on that group that you just like this group, it seems like this was probably going to be one of Central America's more important matches. Luxembourg, historically being on one of the lower placing teams in the World Cup, and Scotland, I believe, being brand new to the tournament this year, so not sure um, how much experience they can bring into this event. But Central America with
Certainly.
these 2 wins today, that's gonna be that they're sitting pretty going into
That
tomorrow.
was a very good day for Central America, certainly. Um, but yeah, it looks like we have the schedule for tomorrow, June 19th coming up. We got a big lineup for tomorrow, and we will see to open up our Mario Kart 8 Deluxe streams tomorrow, Scotland and Hong Kong, Taiwan from the same group that we just watched. So we'll be really interested to see how that group unfolds. We got some Mario Kart Wii in the early slate. We will be seeing Mario Kart Tour tomorrow as well. Yes.
Yeah, Mario Kart Tour's debut on EGTV. That'll be tomorrow, starting with Germany, Spain.
Yeah.
Um, so again, like we mentioned in group draw, probably the most hype match of this whole play, and these teams very close, and we're really looking forward to uh, debuting Mario Kart Tour on EGTV with that match, and then as well as I believe we're doing 7 MKT matches
Yeah, it looks
tomorrow.
we got a loaded slate tomorrow for Mario Kart Tour. That's going to be exciting. I'm definitely going to be watching because I'm curious to see how the Mario Kart World Cup looks in Mario Kart Tour for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool to cast that as well. So, as along with some of our other MKT casters, we'll get to introduce ourselves tomorrow. But that's going to be uh, really exciting. Just a lot of really solid matches here, as well
Sweet,
as on just all games. Again,
for
that
sure.
SCO HKT match from the same group we just saw. Um, and even some nice Mario Kart 8 Deluxe matches. Spain, Greece, Asia, Ireland. That's going to be a good one to watch for
Ireland's going
sure.
to be busy tomorrow, dude. They've got 3 matches in 2 different games, so that's going to be hype. Colombia, Ireland from the same group as Italy, Colombia we watched earlier. But yeah, so we got a slate tomorrow. If you don't think you have plans tomorrow, now you do. We got a whole day of Mario Kart World Cup content on Endgame TV. If you're not following, definitely hit that follow button because we will be busy tomorrow. So, but yeah, for
Absolutely.
now, I think that's all we got for you guys. We don't have anything coming up, yeah.